Lee, you're going back to Tynecastle this week. How big a game is this in terms of you've got Hearts, Aberdeen and Hearts again?
Yeah, it's a big period for us, we know that, but it's a challenging one, and it's one that we're all looking forward to as players. It's looking no further than tomorrow night. We know it's going to be a difficult one. They're going to be a tough opponent, a competitive opponent, and it's going to be an electric atmosphere. I know that, obviously, first hand from experiencing that as a home player there for a number of years on night games with the fans and how they'll get behind the team. So we know that'll be the case. We know our fans will travel in their numbers and again be superb on the night. So again, it's up to us as a group of players and to make sure that we send them home happy and take the 3 points.
You mentioned it'll be a defining period, but in terms of looking at the 3 games, I know you'll want to concentrate on what happens at Tynecastle, but when you're playing the teams all around about you, do you feel that you have to win them all to really go clear in second? Can you win them all? Are you good enough to win them all?
Yeah, we believe that, but I think every single game's got the same type of tag ahead of it with us, that we know the team's going to be really competitive. I think the manager speaks here and he refers to it being the same old rhetoric and it's the exact same when a player sits up here before you, that every game's going to be a difficult game. We know that they're going to raise their game, they're going to be right on it, and they're going to make it difficult, whether they're a second place rival, a third place, fourth place, whatever it may be. The opponent is always going to make it a tough game for us, and we respect that. We know it. We respect the qualities they've got. They're a well structured side, well managed, well coached, and done ever so well to come from where they've came from. Obviously they were a opponent of ours in the Championship. They came up ever so well, deploying a style of play that the club needed at that point, and they've carried it into last season, secured European football, and again that's all thanks to Robbie Neilson and the hard work he's put in at the club. So they're going to be a difficult opponent. We respect that. We respect their individual players that can cause us problems, and we're looking forward to the game.
His future is uncertain now, whether he stays at Hearts or not. Can Rangers take advantage of that? Have you had any experience of that in a dressing room before, when you don't know what's going on with the manager? Is that something the opposition can take advantage of?
I think I've had experience of it, but again, it will not make one bit of difference for how the game goes in terms of Hearts' preparation, our preparation. Nothing's going to change from a Fairweather point of view, and I think that they'll be well ready as well. So irrespective if it's Robbie in the dugout, John Daly in the dugout, Craig Levine in the dugout, they'll be Hearts and they'll be ready to go for the game, and as will we be. And again, the most important thing is how we prepare, how we've trained, and how well we get ourselves ready for this type of fixture, and go in there and be the best we can be and take all 3 points.
Does it concern you or the rest of the players that the last couple of games you've left it so late to get the win?
No, definitely not. It actually pleases me that we've got that bit about us, and it's again probably a thing that, had we not have won these games, the questions might have been that we've not got that resilience. We don't contain that character in the team. We've not got that never say die attitude that we can go right to the last whistle. So it pleases me that you know me by now, that I'll sit and dissect a performance till midnight, till longer than that. But I think getting the 3 points is crucial, and the fact that we've managed to do it, leaving it late last week, the week before, it doesn't make any difference. We know we're going to try and aim to be better and the best we can be every single game. In an ideal world, we perform perfectly and we get the 3 points. But while that's all happening, and while we're at this crucial stage of the season, winning and taking 3 points, learning more about your teammates, and in these 2 games you refer to learning the fact that we can go right to the last whistle, we've got that bit about us. So that side of the game pleases me. There's no doubt about that.
You don't look at the games against the Hearts and Aberdeen, that these late chances might not come along, and you might need to take those earlier chances?
Absolutely, that's the way we'll approach the game. We'll be looking to try and win the game, take our game plan, look to go to Tynecastle tomorrow night and dominate the ball, and do what we deem to be the best way of playing football. And we know that consistency has been a part of the game that's been lacking for us this season. Kenny Miller mentioned that last week as well, and as I said to you before, we're aspiring to get that perfect performance and hopefully getting the 3 points every single match day, sending our fans home happy. That's an ideal Rangers performance and a Rangers day. But the last 2 games we've learned a hell of a lot in terms of our character, the way that we won't deviate. I think if you look at the details of the games, that the 2 goals that obviously managed to secure the wins on the day, they start quite deep in our half. We're brave, we don't deviate from our principles. At that stage of the game, it could be easy for Wes or a defender to punt the ball long and try and throw a centre back up and win a flick on and score a goal that way. What the pleasing thing for me in both goals were, Dundee and at the weekend there, was the fact that we never deviated from our philosophy. We got on the ball, we were brave, we took up our positions, we moved the ball through the thirds, and we got our rewards in the end. So that's our aim every single week, every single match day, and tomorrow will be no different.
You were here leaving Adam McCoy's registered his intent to leave Rangers. How were the Hearts players thinking today?
Sorry?
In terms of, they know their manager, they think their manager's going to leave. What kind of attitude?
Well, again, I couldn't tell you. I think they'll just be Hearts fans. Will be mainly focused on the outcome at the game tomorrow night. I'm sure that matters whether they're progressing today at some point or not. I'm not sure. I've been in here training. Whatever's going to happen with Robbie and his future, I think that'll just take care of itself. The fans themselves, I'd imagine.
Sorry, I mean the players. How the Hearts players react to that news?
Again, I just think as professionals, and I know they all will be, having spoke to Callum Patterson, Jack Hamilton, and obviously recent Scotland squads, that they'll just be preparing as normal. They'll be as professional as they can, and what's going on now can't really affect their preparations. I'd imagine they'd go in with similar game plans as they've adopted. We know they've played a number of styles, a number of formations, in the last couple of weeks. They'll go into the game and they'll be trying to win it, irrespective, as I said earlier, who's in the dugout. They'll be fully prepared and ready to go.
The oldest positives you mentioned a few answers back that Hearts have brought in, getting promoted and established themselves in the league. How much is there to learn at this club from what they've done, or does this club stand alone in that sense? Yeah,
I'd say so. I mean, while we know and we recognise that if they were an opponent of ours in that championship season, I think we just need to concentrate on how we grow, and the manager says week after week, especially off the back of last week's AGM, on building the club forward in the right way and not being reckless in areas, and as we have and as we've seen in 18 months the managers came in, we've got our own playing style and our own philosophy on how we move the club forward and how we aim to get to where we want to be, and we know the process. It's going to take hard work, and because we're back, and I think the phrase I've used a lot in recent years is getting the club back to where they belong, and while we've achieved that in terms of level that we're playing at, where we belong is at the top of Scottish football, and we still know that we're a wee bit away from that. So it's going to take time, it's going to take patience, it's going to take bumps and bruises this season, we know that, but we're moving forward positively, we're working hard, and we're going to make sure that we can get to where we can get through hard work.
I suppose patience is the word then?
Absolutely, that's what I said.
What concerns have you got of Celtic just stretching away into the horizon?
Sorry?
Concerns about Celtic possibly stretching away?
No, we'll just always focus on ourselves. You probably knew that would be my answer. We've got a tough game tomorrow night that we're going to aim to try and win, and just keep moving forward and keep learning about ourselves. The gelling process is well underway. We're learning every single day. The same old, as the manager would quote, the same rhetoric is going to come from me as well. We're going to work hard. We're going to move forward. We're going to keep learning, and we're going to try and get to where we want to be. And that's only going to be done through hard work.
You played with Robbie at Hearts. Did you think he would go on to become a head coach that he has at Hearts and potentially now moving down to England? Did he have that sort of quality?
Yeah, definitely did, and I knew that sometimes you get that feeling about a player. Had it with Stephen Presley, you had it with Paul Hartley. These are guys I was in dressing rooms when. Robbie was no different. He was always first in the building at Rickerton, and he was always last away. He was always asking questions to the fellow pros and the managers that he was working with at that point. So I think as a player he's managed to sample football both north and south of the border. Now he might be given the opportunity to do that as a manager. There's everyone I speak to about Hearts, past, present, guys like Danny and Holt that have worked with him, unrivalled work ethic. The fact that he's done what he's done with Hearts in that short period of time is phenomenal. From where Hearts have came from to dominate that championship season and to get European football the season after, a very underrated achievement, and he's done great, and he's a young innovative manager, and I wish him all the best whatever happens.
The manager was a wee bit unhappy about criticism towards Joe Garner. He feels that he just needs a bit of time and he'll really kick on. He feels he's done okay since coming in. What more, you say you don't deviate, what more can the Rangers players around him do to get him more involved and get him more chances in the game?
That's just about Joe learning. I mean, every new player that's going to come to the club is going to have to get used to the way we play. There's no going to be any change on that. Every new player whether you're a young player, whether you've got 80 caps for Croatia, whether you've played in the Premier League all your days or whether you've played in League One, you're going to have to come here and get used to the way we play. And Joe's no different on that front. He's working ever so hard. He's always asking questions. He's good at analysis. He's always got good things to say. And it's going to take time, of course. Joe knows that he's going to be judged on goals. That goes without saying when you're a striker at Rangers. And I've got no doubts that the work that he's putting in is going to be rewarded. And it's a team effort. So it's never that if we are not finding consistency, it's never one individual, it's the team, it's the team's involvement on that front, and Joe's going to get there. I know that. I trust him, I trust his work that he's putting in, and as I said, I trust his involvement when he speaks in analysis and how he is in the changing room with the boys. So Joe will definitely get there, like a number of other players will as well.